This video is brought to you in part by our supporters on Patreon. Hey, I'm Mark, and you're here to learn how to play spades for 2 players. If it's your first time visiting the channel, please hit subscribe and the bell so you're notified about new games every week. Spades is a trick-taking game that challenges players to take exactly the amount of tricks that they bid. Any tricks taken beyond your bid are called bags, and eventually you're going to lose points for taking too many bags. As the name suggests, in this game, spades are always trump, so spades are the highest suited cards. Let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at how to play. All you need in order to play spades is a standard 52 card deck with the jokers removed and a way to keep score. In this game, spades are always trump. Aces are always high. That makes the ace of spades the highest card in the game. In 2-player spades, there is no deal. Players will take turns drawing cards from the deck and either keeping them or discarding them. Player 1 begins by looking at the top card from the deck. They can either choose to keep it or discard it. If they choose to discard it, they must keep the second card. Player 2 then repeats. They cannot draw from the discard pile. They must take off the top of the deck. Player 2 draws the card, chooses to keep it or discard it. They discard it, so they must keep the second card. Player 1 draws from the top, chooses to keep the jack of hearts. That means the second card is immediately discarded. Player 2 keeps the top card, discards the next. Do this through the entire deck until each player has 13 cards. When you're drawing, you will not let your opponent see what you're keeping. Even though you won't know your opponent's hand, if you're paying close enough attention, you'll still have a good idea of what's left because you will have seen each card that has been discarded. Once each player has 13 cards, remove the remaining cards from the game. Those will not be used. Each player should go ahead and organize their hand by suit. Normally, you would keep your hand a secret, but for the sake of this video, we're going to play with each player's hands face up. The hand begins with each player bidding. When a player bids, they are saying how many tricks they believe they can take. The player who got to draw first is considered the dealer. So in this game, the player opposite of the dealer gets to bid first. As I stated in the beginning of the video, the challenge to this game is taking precisely the amount of tricks that you bid. If you take fewer than the amount of tricks you bid, you're penalized. If you take more than the amount of tricks that you bid, you will eventually be penalized. So you're trying to be as precise as possible. For this video, you are player 1, and you have your hand right in front of you. I will be player 2. I get to bid first. And I gotta say, this is an amazing starting hand for me. No, I didn't stack the deck, I promise. I am gonna go ahead and bid 11. I think I can take 11 of the 13 tricks. I'll go ahead and bid for you since this is your first game. You're gonna bid 6. You think you can only take 6 tricks. I can tell you, that's gonna be tricky. The scorekeeper should write down each player's bid. Now that the bidding phase is over, it's time to play. The non-dealer leads the first trick. Remember, spades cannot be played until the suit is broken. The suit is broken if a player cannot follow the suit that was led, or if a player has no choice but to play a spade, meaning they only have spades left. I am the non-dealer, so I will lead first. I'm going to go ahead and lead the ace of clubs. Now you must follow suit if you can, so you must lay a club. You choose to lay the 3 of clubs. The highest card in the suit that was led, or the highest spade, takes the trick. Whoever takes the trick leads. I have led the king of clubs. Again, you must follow suit. You choose to lay the 4 of clubs. King takes the trick. Play will continue like this, with each player leading and the opposite player following suit, until spades are broken. Let's go ahead and jump to that. Here you take the trick with the king of diamonds. Now you get to lead. You choose to lead with the king of hearts. That would be a pretty good play if I had to follow suit. But I do not have any hearts, so I can lay whichever card I wish. I choose to take the trick with the two of spades. Now spades are broken. That means a player can lead with a spade if they wish. That doesn't mean you can play a spade whenever you want though. If you can follow suit, you still have to. Now that spades are broken, play will continue until all the tricks have been played. This is not going to go well for you because I have a lot of spades. So let's go ahead and just jump to the end. Alright, time to tally up our score. Let's go ahead and start with me. I bid that I would take 11 tricks, and I actually took 12. So I'm going to earn 10 points for each trick that I took that helped me meet my bid. So I earned 11 times 10, 110 points. Any trick you take beyond what you bid is called a bag, and a bag is worth 1 point. So this actually makes my score 111 points. But be careful. Once a player has taken 10 bags during the game, they actually lose 100 points. And that happens continuously throughout the game. So once you've reached your 20th bag, you'll lose another 100 points, and so on. So bags are not necessarily a good thing. Alright, now for your score. You bid that you would take 6 tricks, and you failed miserably. You only took 1. So you actually lose 10 points for each trick that you bid. You bid 6, you lose 60 points. So at the end of this hand, the score is 111 to negative 60. Continue to play, alternating who's the dealer, and the first player who reaches 500 points wins the game. If both players reach 500 points, whoever has the highest score past that 500 wins the game. There are 2 advanced ways of bidding for the game of spades. One of them is called shooting the moon, and the other is called going nil. I'll put details for those down in the description. I would wait until you get a few hands under your belt before you try to bid by shooting the moon or going nil. Hey, I just want to take a minute to invite you over to the Clubhouse on Patreon. Patreon supporters are what make this channel happen, and Clubhouse members get special access to behind-the-scenes blogs and club member-only events. If you're interested in supporting the channel and allowing more content to be made, head on over to patreon.com/riffle, shuffle, and roll and join up.